Welcome to Profit Channels. This is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Please consider this a video to be entertainment. Today I am talking about Liberty Energy, LBRT, currently about $10.50. Price to earnings is 8.24, so that's nice and low. Almost a 3% dividend yield. They are a hydraulic fracturing services to onshore oil and natural gas. Some closely held shares. You can see annually we've got steady net income. Quarterly we are up a little bit. In North America, long-term debt looks good. Short-term could be better, but quarterly we are cash flowing. Annually it's pretty solid. The forecast, so we've got 14 analysts. Most are hold. One buy, 5 strong buy, from 39% to 81% increase in a year. If I look at the annual, let's make this bigger for a second, or annual revenue. So we were in the millions, cracked into the billions, back to almost a billion. 2.4, 4.5, 4.75, so we're still over 4 billion, which is quite large for where they've been. Gross profit is down a little bit compared to the last 2 years. All right, so net income, it's still positive, but it's 400 million, 550 million, now down to 316 million. So down a little bit. Average basic shares outstanding. So we had been up to 184 million in 2022 and then down to 171 and 165. So they are buying them back. If I look at Liberty divided by the S&P 500, we've been getting killed. We have points of control above us, so SPX, S&P 500, and this is going down. It means it's doing a lot better than Liberty Energy. If I go to the daily, we have a gap in this chart down here, which has me concerned that we could be headed down there, but we could be turning around. So let me go to a weekly chart, and you can see we've got this channel we're moving in on a longer term. The midpoint line is okay, but this just kind of need more data at this point. Our moving averages, so we had been bouncing off the 200, broke down through them all, and we've got a pretty bearish candle here. This could be a double bottom. This you can see that this is a point. Let's put volume profiles up. So we got a higher point of control up here. We got this point of control right here, which we are now below. But this is a pretty nice looking line right here. You get down at the bottom of this wick, and that's, we got resistance and then support. On the daily, We have this gap down here at the midpoint line. So back to the weekly. We've got little touches here on this midpoint line. And this is around 740. So we go back to the daily, and we have this gap right there at that midpoint line. And a gap here. So these, I think, eventually like to get filled. We have another channel. You could say we're moving in. So I've got a couple touches here. Sorry about that. The wife came downstairs. So this channel, I really like the midpoint line. This lines up real pretty. And so if we follow this channel down, that could get us right to this gap in the longer term channel midpoint line. Back to let's keep it on the daily. All right, so I'm gonna do a fib retracement from right here. And so it's not this bottom, but I like it. Let's do this on the weekly. This retracement right here, it's just a nice line on the longer term. And then on the daily, I am using this point right here. And I have a nice retracement chart. The 236 is nice. 382 is not bad, but I like the 0.5. Going through time is real pretty. The 618 is, marking a lot of areas of action as it kind of goes through it, up and down. But the 786 is good. Right now we've got the full retracement is right here with our point of control. And then we have this 1272 in the gap here, down here around $940, that first gap. But our 1.68 is right here in the second gap, next to our midpoint line on the weekly channel. See that big channel. Now, if I do an extension from this bottom to this top to the bottom we just had, this is a pretty good line. Let me get rid of some of these. All right. Go to our daily. Let me put it back in. Okay. So this 236 is real nice. The 618, the 786, one Fibonacci puts us in this gap above us. And our top gap here is about 2 Fibonacci's. This 1.68 line is real strong. So this could be the potential bottom where we turn around. But if I draw it from the same bottom to assuming we get down and break this gap, You look at these lines are really pretty. This 1272 is right in the gap. The 618 looks good. And 786, or the 268, sorry, is up here near the top. And so we're just bagging off this 236, but that could also, I mean, this does look good. The other option, if we come from here to the top to this gap, I chose that spot based off of, well, in between the retracement and our midpoint line. You can see that this 2 is a real pretty line. The 168, I mean, this is probably the prettiest one. The 618 is right in this gap. This would be the full retracement. We got 3 fibs right here. So I kind of am leaning towards we might be heading down here first, but we got to see. This is just a steady downtrend right now. So we could come down to here and double bottom. This would be the 618. And then go up and then come back down. I'm not really sure. I look at our parabolic seller in the super trend. It's pretty bearish on the weekly. Everything's pretty bearish here. Just a downward trend on all 3 indicators. So on the daily, we could be starting to have an uptrend on the RSI. The same with the MACD. And the stochastic, well, it's heading down again. So not quite looking like it's ready to go up yet. If I look at our RSI Bollinger Band strategy, we might be coming down here. This is weekly to the bottom of this Bollinger Band. Money flow is trending down. Longer term trending up, but currently trending down. Squeeze momentum is right at neutral. And 17.6 on the ADX is really no trend at all. On the daily, we broke outside of the Bollinger Band, and now we are inside of it, quite a bit below the moving average. Money flow index is down. Squeeze momentum is negative, so I'm expecting this to continue down and either double bottom here to the 618, come down to this 236, which is an interesting point, or get right back here to this daily gap down here around 750. So I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I will talk to you later.